Sound Trouble is left here. Welcome back. Wife and I here in Omaha. Just got into the hotel, put my stuff away, and get ready, and then we'll go to meet and greet Frank and shipping. So hang tight. Let me put the stuff away, and we'll go. All right.
I buy like full corn and pellets, feed a lot of the birds just sitting around. Just, throw them in each feeder. What was $10 a bag 2 years ago? Let's go 50. That was the look of it. Well, last I was talking to him. True, all right.
Good.
Always
Hello.
good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You bet. Always good. Did you interview Chuck over there?
Not yet. Not.
Good story.
I'll talk with the king shortly.
And they're beautiful too. Yeah. Thank you so much for going. That's the word. It's a bluebird sky with hot.
Driving them out.
Kelly? So what I normally do is I do a small interview.
How'd you find him into that? Right.
They got the little holes. If you keep cranking them, those little holes goes up on the side.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, everyone. Y'all, you guys just keep talking. I'm just recording.
Okay. The biggest thing is a lot of people like to see the guy behind the work, like that eye contact is such a more personal feeling. So I think a lot of people need to get out.
Hello, guys.
What's up?
Shoots.
What's up? Long, Shane, Chad, Doug. Yes, sir. Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota. Yeah, there you go. All down here in Omaha. You.
Get down in here so you can see the birds drinking.
We're running off the side here.
Oh, that's because I stole on the floor.
Oh.
So after that,
How we doing,
Carter?
brother? Thanks for being here.
Oh,
Next year we have the Midwest Convention here, so everybody
what I should say is
should come
okay.
enjoy it.
So we're doing Grain Belt and the convention?
All same race.
Okay.
Midwest Classic / Grain Belt Classic.
Okay. You guys heard that?
October
Our-
6th, October 14th.
Okay.
Joe Nemelka and Johnny Lynch.
There we go.
Yes.
You guys heard that? Straight from Carter. Next year. Let's go.
Thanks for everything, guys.
Yes, sir.
McLaughlin. Say hi, Frank.
Hello, everyone.
I'm very excited to be with him today. I met Frank multiple years ago. He's been a huge part of our racing community here in the United States and across America. I'm very excited, very privileged to be with Frank today. As we discussed yesterday in the Omaha Grain Belt, what they do is they always have a featured breeder. We've seen different breeders throughout the year. This year we have an opportunity to meet with one of the best.
Yeah, I'm Frank McLaughlin of McLaughlin Lofts. I live right now in Hanover, Massachusetts. It's a suburb, maybe 30 miles south of Boston. I grew up in Quincy, Massachusetts, which is known for it. We had 2 presidents born in Quincy. I started racing at 11. I got my first racing pigeons at 10 years old. I started with chickens. My father, we lived in the city. My father liked birds like I did. He would get me chickens. And one day we visited a person with a little farm with chickens, and he had white fantail pigeons.
Okay.
So I liked them. My father bought me a pair of fantails, and then over the next few years they reproduced, and I was like, these fantails are overrunning my chicken coop. So I let some of them out, and they bounced from house to house around the neighborhood. They landed back in my backyard. I opened the door of the chicken coop. They marched in. I couldn't believe it. I was like, my father got home from work. I said, Dad, you don't believe what just happened. And he goes, I know a guy with homing pigeons. You might like those. We visited. There was a guy in the city, and we visited, and I saw the clock, the red checkers. That was it. Chickens went, pigeons came. And that was 1973. So I've been doing it ever since.
Alright guys, so that's Tony with his podcast. He's interviewing Frank. If you guys want to see his podcast, please follow him. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can rewatch all the podcasts in the past. You can watch Frank's podcast right now too, and any future podcast that Tony's going to do. So stay tuned, watch his podcast. I'm just here just to do the behind the scenes stuff. So keep watching.
If you selected pigeons, the cock doesn't have to be perfect. It can be little, maybe weak back, maybe the vents aren't the greatest, maybe a little bit awkward. The hen has to be more important. The hen gives the baby the conformation, the more of the body. So I've also seen pigeons whereas they're just, the genetics there, they're from a line of champions, they're nice pigeons, and they breed that freak, where that baby is unbelievable. That's the pigeon that might propel you off to the future. Because if the genetics are there, they're not all going to be spectacular, but if you say, okay, that bird has good genetics, I'm going to give it a try, sometimes they raise, the freak. So I'll go back to the story. I named a hen the freak. She won the AU convention. And I'm a pretty good selector with pigeons. And I was selecting babies for the convention. My brother's there, and he's writing them down. I grabbed this baby. I said, whew. I said, Dan, this one's a freak. And it was just so special, just spectacular bird. And we put in the convention, and it hit in the both pre-races, and it broke open the convention and went on to be a superstar breeder. And the parents were really nice birds, but not as nice as the baby. So, just because the parents aren't off the planet doesn't necessarily mean those genetics, that lottery ticket isn't going to match up. You're going to get a pigeon that's going to propel you, because all these freaks that jump up that change the sport, the Cannibal, the Klein Dirk, 231, Blixum, these pigeons came about all of a sudden, and they propelled the loft to new levels. And you have to look for the bird that's going to propel you to the new levels. And sometimes you find it, sometimes it could have, the hawk could eat it, and you don't know, but occasionally I'll see a bird and it's something just real special. And I tell this story, and when I used to bring in the birds for the $1 million race, I'd get like 1,000, 1,200 pigeons. And I used to grade them. I'd be like, in 2 seconds, you don't just have to touch them. I can just do this, and I know if the bird has it or not. I don't have to spend much time with it. And out of 1,000 birds, I would rate maybe 5 that could win the race. And these are the best breeders in the country. It isn't like everybody's sending terrific pigeons. And, there was a box that came years ago, and Nana's pigeons, it was Rick sent like a box of 8, and they were nice, but one was spectacular. And it ended up being 4th in the $1 million race.
A dark horse one.
Yeah, was that the one that scored
Yeah.
the 4th in the race? And I marked that as one of the top 5. And then there was another guy that sent like 5 pigeons. 2 of them were like 2 of the best pigeons that I saw in the whole 1,000. He never paid me the export fee. He never paid his entry fee. His bird got disqualified. It was like 8th in the $1 million race.
Wow.
My hen that was 15th, cool dude Michael, she was off the planet. I was like, she was one of the best 5 that I sent over that year. Guinness won the race. I was 15th. There were like 43 or 45 day birds. And so these pigeons that I consider freakish, and they've had some big performances out of thousands of birds. But again, out of 1,000 babies, I would say maybe 100 have a chance to get in the prizes, and 4 or 5 have a chance to win the race out of 1,000. And you know, but I've seen the best birds in the world, and some of them are just on another planet. They're just phenomenal. And I handled Nadine at Peepa. She was like 8th middle distance bird, or from Willie Daniels, unbelievable hen. And I tell the story too, and I was visiting Peepa 3 or 4 years ago. I saw 2 45-day-old babies, and I still think about those babies still today. They were the best birds I've seen in years. And I asked Nicholas, the owner, a couple of years later, anything ever happened? One went to, I think, Bach Gearings, and one was at Peepa. Peepa kept the hen, and she bred like 4th national, 25,000 birds her first season or something like that. So some of them are they're just freaky, but they don't come along very often. So you have to breed a lot of pigeons. You have to breed good genetics, and occasionally, you know, the genes line up, and pow, you get a pigeon that just propels you up into the future. But they're few and far between.
When you want to call my house and grade my birds?
Yeah. a lot of
Get rid of them.
no, I don't want to be the I can't be the grim reaper, because it's funny, probably one of my best hens, 23, she bred the Hoosier winner. She doesn't handle like much. Like, she won the Big Andy 450, she came back, and I was like, oh boy, I was expecting something really special. She's not special. Her babies are special, and her grandchildren are special, but she's not that special. But the Sablon pigeons, the Jura Sablon pigeons, they're not the greatest handling pigeons. Like, they're nice pigeons, but they're not. They remind me of the Gabby Vendinabila pigeons when I first saw them years ago. I didn't like them. And it was one of my biggest mistakes in the sport I think I made. I visited Maurice Cassad and Gabby Vendinabila the first day same day in the early 90s. I wanted a new family to bring in, and his pigeons were cheap at the time. I could have bought from Kleinen and all his superstars. And they were like 300 at the time, maybe 300 euro a piece. And I saw the Maurice Cassad pigeons. They blew me away. So I went with Maurice Cassad, which turned out to be great. But I also think, what if I invested in the Gabby pigeons, because they went on to be much more famous. But I didn't like them. It was tough to like. And when I got the Jura Sablon pigeons, I was like, they're not that pretty. They don't handle that great. They fly unbelievable. So, you know, you can't really tell. The basket will tell the story for the most part. Any other?
Awesome, thanks.
I don't want to bore you guys
No.
completely out of your tree.
Nope. So you guys, Frank also has a YouTube channel. I also link that in the description as well. Check it out. I am learning some few things from Frank too, so check him out.
Hey, this is Frank McLaughlin of McLaughlin Lofts. I'd like to ask everyone to subscribe to my good friend, Seven Cha Brothers Loft. His YouTube channel is excellent, and I know you'll really like it. Take a look.